So, hey Pisces, my name is Chris, and this is your beautiful reading for whenever you find it. There's something in it. Oh, I forgot the candle. There's something in it for whenever you find it. Don't make it fit, just take what resonates. And we dive right in. There is passion, a little bit of overthinking energy. Let's just see. Okay. The beautiful Empress, 7 of Swords, 8 of Swords, overthinking. Mindfuck energy is still around. It's not completely gone. There's the Ace of Wands here as well. Let's just keep going. I'm just not particularly... there's the King of Pentacles, beautiful energy. Page of Pentacles, what else we got? The Fool card, very beautiful. 5, 7. Let's take the Sun card, the 6 of... oh, that's so beautiful. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10. And the bottom of the deck is the King of Wands. As you might have noticed, right? I'm not doing the Celtic Cross. I'm not doing a specific spread of the tarot cards. I'm just using the tarot card deck for inspiration, basically. And it's basically a good set of archetypes, so to speak, what life can throw at us, right? So what life can throw at us, and you have been around in the last few years, if you're resonating with this channel, you're most likely an empathic human being, decent human being, and not a narcissist, right? So what were we dealing with? What is in this world just very present, right? It's not over, it's not gone, it's not going to be just disappearing, right? There is toxicity, there is narcissism, there is shady people, right? Antagonistic, toxic people. They're just around, right? And the question is, how do we react to them? Do we react to them at all? Do we respond to them? Or do we not? Do we choose not to respond to them if we don't have to, right? So this is a conscious choice to make. How do you deal with toxic people? If you are in a relationship with a narcissist, with a toxic person, you have to entangle yourself out of this relationship, free yourself, right? Which can be quite a task, right? If you're married, if it's, I don't know, someone in your family, it's hard to cut ties, right? But you have to really take a good look at how much is your inner peace of mind worth to you, you know? How much do you love yourself? Are you willing to live in this energy, which is overthinking energy, being blocked, mindfuck energy, taking the bait of the narcissist? That's the it's literally 7 of Swords and the 8 of Swords, right? So you don't want that, because look at what else we got. We got a new beginning here, and the last few years have been super toxic, where these energies were pretty much running the show, right? And we were kind of taking the bait and forced to, or pushed into taking the bait. Very, very toxic mindfuck energy in the last few years. 2026, I said this before, you should check out the yearly reading, you should check out the spring reading specifically. 2026 is not another 2025. 2025 was pretty much the year of hell for decent human beings. But here's the Fool card. We got a new beginning, and a new beginning with the Ace of Wands. And that is so much goodness here, right? There's the Sun card. Let's just overall new beginning here. Then you got the Chariot. Okay, let's just unpack this, right? You're moving on, we are moving on collectively as humanity from these horrible times. You could call it the dark night of the soul of humanity. You could call it a preparation for those incarnated wonderful souls, empathic beings, reasonable beings, compassionate beings, right? Grown-ups who are just ready to co-create with nature, co-create with what you might call spirit, consciousness, from a, pantheistic perspective, right? Everything is an emanation of consciousness. Everything is consciousness, right? That wonderful quote from Sri Ramana Maharshi, The world is illusory. Brahman alone is real. Brahman is the world, right? So everything is consciousness. Every table, right? The microphone, the Buddha statue, me, the cat, right? The dog, right? The trees. If you really become aware that you're not separate, right? That you're not isolated, then that was kind of the bait of this nihilistic, totally antagonistic, horrible, lost in egoic consciousness paradigm. Finally, we have overcome to this. There might have been a few people who sold their soul to that energy. They might have gotten a new big fat fancy car, right, in the last few years by exploiting other decent people, but, you know, they pretty much sold their soul for it, and somebody's coming to collect it. That's for sure. So you didn't do that. We didn't do that. This is the empathic channel. This is the channel for the good people. And when I say good people, then I mean people who are aware of their own shadow aspect, who are aware of their own not so good aspects, right? And not negate them, not transcend, but transcend and integrate them, not push them away. That's how we did it, right? But that's in the past. 2025 is over. The last few years are over. 2026 is the beginning of something beautiful. There's the Fool card. That's a collective for everybody of us, specifically for you, my dear Pisces. But you can, you know, read between the lines and see that this is a global phenomena, and we're all in this together if we did not sell our soul to the devil. And what is here? Self-mastery, right? Knowing your worth, respecting yourself. You got everything you need. Everything you need. Your abilities, everything that you need for creation is provided to you. You bring the talents, you bring the commitment, you bring your handy, what is the word? Your skills, basically, right? There's the King of Pentacles. You're making something happen, and there's joy in what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're creating. You're coming from the Empress, which is mastership, self-mastership, right? Not taking the bait of the narcissist, not saying, oh, you know, when a narcissist asks you, who do you think you are? Well, don't even answer. You have a right to be here. You're a divine, wonderful, beautiful being, right? You have every right to be here, and you have a right to live in abundance and reciprocity with your surroundings. And you're not a slave to some mindfuck assholes, fascists, right, who try to lower you in frequency, or tell you, oh, you can't do that, who do you think you are, you know, who are trying to play you on guilt, fear, shame. That's usually the energy that they play with, right? So, but this is a reading where you coming out of this, not just coming out of this, but you mastered it. Mastery, true self-love, and true integration of your shadow aspect. There's the Sun card, there's the Chariot. You're just jumping into this, and there's passion, right? So much passion. I would say that's almost the basis here of it all. And you mastering that passion. You're not being pushed around by that, right? Passion is also sexuality, sexual energy, right? We are all sexual beings, right? These energies want to play us into guilt, fear, shame, right? Oh, you're sexual beings. Oh, you should be ashamed of. No, that's bullshit, right? That's their guilt, fear, shame game, right? If you buy into guilt, fear, shame, you're basically enslaved by that guilt, fear, shame, and you will be manipulated by toxic, narcissistic people. That's just how it is, but you use and master. There's, again, mastership, right? You don't need to brag about it. You just own yourself. Be yourself, right? Authentically you in your own integrity. And then you just do what you have always done, right? You attend to your little plants, to your seedlings that you have planted into your life that are meaningful to you, and you just keep going. Chariot is here to support you, you know? The sun is coming out. It's a brand new day, so to speak. It's a brand new year. 2026 is not like 2025 or the years before. For empathic people, I say this again and again, this is our year. This is the turning point. This is the beginning of, the next 25 years could be really, really good for really, really good, decent human beings, right? And decent human beings know their shadow. So you make it real, you remember joy, happiness, and there's this wonderful, joyful beginning. I say it again, the Empress is here, which is self-mastery, just knowing yourself, accepting yourself, not trying to be someone else, right? And then nobody can play you. King of Pentacles, making it happen, crystallizing it out. Michael descent, okay. And joyful creation, right? Just joyful, beautiful creation. Michael descent, Blue Angel Oracle deck, joyful empowerment. What was I saying, right? My protective light surrounds you, accept it and let it flow into your heart, made balance your body, mind, and perception, and bring you great joy. There's no separation. We are one, as is heaven and earth. I'm with you. I'm a reflection of your soul. Let us celebrate the joy of living and embrace the totality of who we are. Two souls within one beautiful spirit. You're much more than you know. You're the past, present, and future. Awaken to the empowering manifestation that is your true essence, and you shall experience pure joy. Beyond fear, there's only love. Beyond fear, there's only love. And what do I show you? Love yourself, respect yourself, honor your shadow aspects, your passions, right? Your sexuality, all aspects of your multifaceted, multi-dimensional being that you are. Don't let anybody play you into guilt, fear, shame, and you're good. You just love yourself and you create joyfully. You got everything you need, right? Joyful creation, you got everything you need. You make it happen. The inner mastership is manifested. You're just doing the work. You're writing your book. You're writing your poem. You're doing the painting. You're meeting new people. There's co-creation. You're just doing what is important to you. Give it loving attention. Give yourself and what is important to you loving attention. And you're just making it. Right? And do not, do not ask toxic people for their opinion, right? There will always be naysayers. There will always be toxic people trying to take your energy away. Do not defend. Do not engage. Do not explain. Do not personalize. These people are just who they are. They have nothing going for themselves. So they need to lower or suppress other people in order for themselves to give them a false sense of elevation. That's very sick and poor, pitiful actually, but their time is over. There's the King of Discernment here, King of Swords, joyful creation again here, Six of Cups, Nine of Cups, Sun card. And I would say the bridge between the Empress and the King of Pentacles is what you have learned in the last few years, right? The Emperor, look at that. And there's the Empress and the Emperor now. But the main card, that's basically the clarifier. The main card is the Empress here in the center. So inner mastership, you don't need to be the boss. You don't need to boss people around. You don't need to tell others how they should do things or what they should do. You're just doing your thing, right? You're just focusing on yourself. You can co-create with other people, but not in a bossy way, not in a hierarchical way, but in a how do I say this? Synergetic reciprocity, right? King of Wands, King of Swords, King of Pentacles, and the Empress. Beautiful, beautiful energy. There's the Ace of Wands again a second time. And we end up as the clarifier with the little clarifier deck that is the Two of Swords. So let's just take Skunk Spirit because it just looks beautiful and smiles at me, right? Know your worth. skunk spirit. How beautiful is that, right? Know your worth. Yeah, you don't need to be perfect. You need to be, I don't know, check any boxes of other people. You just be you, and you are doing you. And only you can do you. And try not to do someone else, right? Just be you authentically. Love yourself, respect yourself. And Two of Swords here. Whenever you need it, and I would say make it a daily practice, really. That's what I always recommend. Breath work, 5 seconds in, 10 seconds out. If you have to release stress, whatever feels comfortable, right? 3 seconds in, 6 seconds out, right? But the out breath should be longer than the in breath. That's how you release negativity and stress. If you feel super balanced, you can make it in breath equals out breath, And there are tons of apps for that. Find your own way. The best way is to tune yourself to your own body, right? And listen to your own body, right? And that's better than an app, but you can start with an app and then do meditation. If you can do both, breath work, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes even. If you've never done it, you can do 5 minutes of breath work. And you can sit still for 5 minutes just trying to meditate. Just meditating. Not trying to meditate, meditate. Which is at the beginning, if you've never done it, just sit still and feel what is. If you can do that every day, nobody can mindfuck anymore, period. So that's the beauty here, and this is the energy of 2026. This is the energy that is kind of coming to you right now. Through this reading, never argue with a fool, that's for sure. Never accept disrespect, that's for sure. You don't have to argue. You can just, create consequences that are discomfortable for whoever disrespects you without arguing with them. Beyond fear, there's only love. Concentrate on what you want to create. You cannot find peace by avoiding life, Virginia Woolf, that's for sure. And just remember, these toxic people, if you hate something, if you hate a person, if you hate something in that person, if you hate a person, you hate something in that person that is part of yourself. What isn't part of ourselves does not disturb us. Hermann Hesse. That's very, very true. And yeah, do not argue with fools. Do not allow other people to project their insecurities on you. You concentrate on your own frequency, and you concentrate on passionately creating, bringing into the world your gift, right? What is within you that you can give to the world, that you are, and let that be the highest expression. Skunk spirit, it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be grandiose. Just, if you're a baker and a candlestick maker, then be the best baker or the best candlestick maker that you can be. If that is who you are, if that is your passion, you don't need to check any boxes. You just have to be you, right? And these antagonistic, a person who is really self-actualized and really just living himself, herself, is hard to manipulate and it's hard to exploit. So these antagonistic tendencies want us to be in shame and fear and guilt, right? Insecure, low in frequency. And I want you to be high in frequency, to love yourself, to respect others, right? And just be and create what you truly are. Try that and make it a daily practice, meditation, breathwork, that really helps. That's all I got for now. Check out the spring reading, check out the yearly reading, and hopefully see you next time. Now, but I am a friend. Ciao.